The bones were everywhere. Piles of them, some broken, some still wrapped in shreds of rotting flesh. The air was thick with the stench of death. And in the middle of it all, my father, tied to a post, barely breathing. The prince stood over him with a knife. I was only a boy when I first saw the prince. He was tall, with skin dark like the deep night and eyes that never smiled. Everyone in our village feared him. His name was Prince Njoro, and he ruled with no heart. They said he had killed his own brother to take the throne. They said he took what he wanted and never gave back. My father worked in the prince's palace as a cook. He told me never to look the prince in the eye. If he sees you, my father warned, he will remember you. And if he remembers you, bad things will happen. One night, the prince came to our village. He rode a black horse, his guards following close behind. The air felt wrong, heavy like the sky before a storm. He pointed at a girl. Wanja. She was only 14. Her mother fell to her knees, begging. The prince did not even look at her. He just turned his horse and rode back to the palace. The guards took Wanja with them. She was never seen again. Months passed, and the prince kept coming back. Each time, he took someone. A boy, a girl, even a grown man once. And always, they never returned. The elders whispered that the prince had made a deal with something dark. Something hungry. Something that lived beneath the palace, waiting to be fed. Then one night, my father did not come home. I ran to the palace, hiding behind trees, moving in the shadows. I found a way inside through the kitchen, where my father used to walk. The halls were silent. Too silent. Then I heard it, a scream, echoing through the stone walls. I followed the sound. It led me to a door at the end of a long hallway. The wood was old, cracked. My hands shook as I pushed it open. The room was deep underground. There were bones. So many bones. And in the middle of it all, my father, tied to a post, barely breathing. And the prince, standing over him with a knife. The prince turned and saw me. He smiled. I ran. I don't remember how I got out, only that I ran until my legs gave out, until my lungs burned. I never saw my father again. I never saw the prince again either. But people still whisper his name, even now. They say his palace is cursed. That the spirits of those he took still cry in the night. I believe them. Because sometimes, when the wind is just right, I swear I can hear my father's voice, calling for me.